Or, I guess it's going to do stereo anyway. I could have made it. I have a skinny bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't have, unfortunately. That's recording, isn't it?
I think so.
Now they know I have a fat butt.
Now they
No,
do.
we can cut that out. It's fine.
It doesn't matter. My siblings ate my cheese, and I'm like, okay, you guys owe me some. My sister gave me $5 for the cheese. So I bought the cheese, but then my mom also bought more cheese because she knew that they ate my cheese. So now we have extra cheese.
There you go. Snack heaven.
Alright.
So your character name?
Ilden Windrunnerith.
Class.
Druid. And
Race.
race is half-elf.
Very good. Alright, so these two adventurers, you had a run-in with some goblins last time that you chased down and got washed out of their cave due to a water trap.
Well,
and you have now decided to continue your travels to Clearfields.
Right.
I felt that.
Ow.
We're off to a great start.
Yes, this is so great. Please don't hit the table either.
I'm sorry.
Oh, dear.
Okay. Oh, you guys. Where was I? We were going to Clearfields.
Yes.
Alright, so did you want to change your spells? Because you can do that between days as you're traveling.
Like these, or?
Yes. You can't change your cantrips, but you can change your first level spells.
I think I'm fine with what I have.
Okay. Alright, so you guys continue on to Clearfields. It took you were on the second day when you were somewhat accosted, more like chased down trouble, and then you guys rested. The third day you traveled again, and you still have not gotten to Clearfields. It's not until you rise and you begin travel on the fourth day that you make it to Clearfields. As you begin approaching this town, you see that it's a decently large city. You can see these 3 large buildings on one side of the road, and you just see fields and fields on the other side. And you enter the city. What do you like to do?
Well, we should probably get our shipment taken care of first.
You can do that. Do you know where the shipment is supposed to go to?
I would expect that we were given that information before we left.
Yes, you would be very well acquainted with your partners in trade. So you would know that you're supposed to take it to the Royal Arms Emporium.
Okay. Royal Arms Emporium, so we go to the Royal Arms Emporium?
But you haven't seen it yet.
Okay. So we should look around for it.
So yeah, but you're like, oh yeah, we're supposed to take this to the Royal Arms Emporium. You kind of like come into town and you look and you see these buildings. One of them is clearly marked very extravagantly with some swole muscles on it, declaring that it is the Royal Arms Emporium.
Punny.
Oh.
I know, isn't it great? I'm so proud of that one.
Oh my. Okay. Then I guess I pull the carriage up to said building of the Royal Arm Emporium, and we go in to let them know that we're here to deliver the goods that never made it.
Alright. So, you pull up in front of the building. You go in the door. You walk in. And you just see there are shelves of stuff. You see there is like a small counter with a wall behind it that has like weapons and shields and arrows and things. But this shop is full of stuff. Like farming implements. There's all kinds of different tools you may need. Just litters this place. As you go in, you are greeted by a fairly large man. As you look at him, you kind of almost think he's an orc at first because he has these 2 tusks that kind of poke out of his bottom lip. Do you say anything to him?
I greet him. I say, "Hello, good sir. Are you the shopkeeper of this place, or who do I talk to about a shipment that we need to deliver?
Oh, you've brought the shipment.
Yes.
Oh, let me see. And you see he goes around the counter to the little door, opens it up, lets it swing back. He'll come up to you. Yes, where is it? Outside?
Yep, out front. We just brought her in.
Oh, let me see.
We go outside and we let him expect it.
Okay, you will escort him out.
Yes.
You come out and, oh yes, very good. Now, I am going to have to ask you to drive it around the back of the building. Very sorry, but we don't, as you can see, we don't have a good way of taking things from the front.
Nope. Perfect.
I'll meet you out there, and he'll go back into his shop.
Okay. I will hop back into the carriage and I will move the oxen and we'll rope around and come through the back.
Alright, so fairly easy enough. The oxen obey as you tug on the reins. You get the cart around the side of the building, turn it around the back, and as you turn, you see that this half-orc man opens this door that's also on the back side of the building. Man, I shouldn't have drank so much soda. He will come out and say, yes, very good. Now, would you help me take it off the cart and into my shop?
Absolutely.
Very good. Thank you so much. And he'll, take, the first thing there, and he'll, take it off the cart, open it up, look in it. Oh, yeah. That's all. Put the lid back on, pick it up, and carry it in. And as you begin carrying things in, you set it down, he'll, open it up, look in it, move some things. All right. And then he takes all of the stuff. Do you help, or do you just...
I watch on.
All right.
Just thinking, muscly dudes.
One being a dragonborn, one being an orc. We're pretty sure he must be half orc because he's so
I don't know.
mild-tempered.
That's why I said muscly, not handsome.
All right, we know that Ilda does not like her handsome men. She likes her muscly men. Anyway.
Oh, dearie me.
And so you finish getting all the things into his shop, and he goes, oh yes, thank you very much. Now, I believe I owe you some payment.
Yes, you do. If I remember correctly, hold on, I gotta open my leather-bound book.
My handy-dandy notebook.
Also known my cranium. But in... Oh, come on. Only bad thing about this thing, it gets caught. There we go. Okay. Yes, we were supposed to get...
100 gold.
Yep, 100 gold.
Actually, I remembered that. I don't have it written down. I had to switch my notebook.
Well, that's why you're the intelligent one, and I'm the one that can take the hits.
Well, I don't know. Is that supposed to be split or? That's it?
You're gonna find out.
Okay.
So you see, he takes this small bag off of his okay, not small. It's a fair size. But he reaches into his tunic and pulls out this small pouch. He walks past you over to the cart where you are and says, "Milady, payment for shipment," and he'll give you 100 gold pieces.
I'll receive this and I'll just stick it in my pocket for safekeeping.
All right, so go ahead and write down that you got an extra 100 gold.
I don't really have it set up in any one way.
Oh, do you not have the... Because you had a little bit of gold on you to start with. Mm-hmm. Did you write that down?
I have it written down on my character sheet.
Wait, she has money?
Well, you do too.
I know.
Not as much, but a little bit.
Yeah, I have 25 on me already. So, this is kind of what I'm keeping track of as, the party stuff, if that's such a thing.
So, this man handing you this bag of coins says, "Milady, Sylvester Lima at your service," and he does a small bow.
So his name is Sylvester Lima?
Yes, Sylvester Lima. Please, if you have need of anything, come ask at my shop. I have just about anything you may need.
I saw. You had quite an impressive collection.
Oh, why thank you. You know, not to say that your family provides me with quite a lot of my things. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Please give my thanks to your parents. I know they run quite an elaborate business.
They sure do.
Now, if you'll excuse me, milady.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll do another small bow and he'll return back to his shop.
Bye. I can't see it. It's just a recording. That's why it's funny. I can't.
Sure.
I must not. Can't keep a straight face anymore.
Well, apparently that's the best poker face.
In my opinion, it is. Just smile if you have a good hand or a bad hand. No one knows.
Alright, so what do you guys do now? You have just made your shipment. You also get 100 experience for delivering the shipment.
Sweet. Write that down.
I should also mention, so Sylvester will take the cart and the oxen. He has like a small stable that they can stay in.
Okay. Is he, keeping them, or is he just keeping them?
So
is he housing them, or is he keeping them?
He's keeping them.
Okay.
No. Hold on. So when you said house, I thought keep them in a barn, kind of a house thing. No.
That's what I meant.
He is holding them for you.
Okay. That's kind of what housing, I think, was.
I'm sorry. I realized I understood it wrong to how you meant it, so.
Well, we can go and see if there's any other shops and things. I got one missing crossbow bolt. I'm pretty sure I can get that inside. But I don't know how much that would cost.
Okay, so I'm going to assume that you, after being relieved of most of your stuff, you go around to the front of the shop. And as you go around the front, you now notice more clearly across the road what looks like just farmers and people hawking all kinds of wares as well. So even though apparently this Mr. Lima has quite a collection of things, he clearly doesn't have everything, because there are people across the road. It looks like a market.
Yeah.
You see there's all kinds of food that has been set up, people doing street tacos. There's just all kinds of things. You can see there's some jewelry in one of the little shops.
I really gotta express myself more vocally. Nobody can see my facial expressions.
Well, yeah, but we might come to fix that. Depending.
Yeah.
Alright, what do you guys do?
Well, I can't leave my lady, so are you okay with us going inside to resupply my one missing crossbow bolt, if it's not too expensive?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not averse to looking at certain weapons.
I'm so sorry.
You're good.
Oh, that's a whole cheese.
It was on the cracker and it just fell off. I am so sorry.
You committed suicide. It's like, I'm done with this world.
I don't want to be eaten. No! And then it just gets on the floor, and then you're like, ha, now you can never eat me. Wait, the 10-second rule. Haha, I beat you.
As you come around the front, you see that Sylvester is already at work unpacking these things. He's bringing something out as you walk in the front door, trying to find a place for it, even though this place is just stuffed full of things. And as you come in again, he goes, "Ah, my good friend, were you looking for something today?"
Yes, I lost a crossbow bolt on the way here, and I would like to resupply myself.
Ah, just one bolt. Let me flip to chapter 5 so I can see how much 20 are and divide that by 20. Stuff. Bolts. So that's for 20. So, okay, that would be 1 gold for 20. 1 silver is only a tenth of that, so that would buy you 2. So it would be a half a silver, so it would be 5 copper.
Do I have 5 copper? I don't know how much... we didn't establish how much money I had.
It should be... You have 10 gold.
I have 10 gold.
It would be 5 copper for 1 bolt. He even has various kinds of bolts, and he's like, okay, let me look at your crossbow. And he examines it, and looks at one of your bolts and let me see. And he holds it up. Oh yeah, this one's the right length. Ooh, but the tip's a little bit wrong. Oh, this one. And he'll get one that matches it.
Okay. I'll pay the 5 copper. So that I would be giving him 1 gold piece, and I would be getting silver and all that fun jazz. So I will.
So you'll have 9 gold.
Yes.
9 silver and 5 copper.
9. Where's the silver? Are you here?
Yep, that's silver. And then 5 copper.
5 copper. Sweet. And now I have my full 20 crossbow bolts back. I'm ready to go a hunting.
And he's like, so I see you are an accomplished fighter. perhaps I could interest you in some magical things. They are a bit pricey, though, and I know you are just the escort, but could that be in your price range?
I highly doubt it, but let's see what you have.
So he'll take you over, and he has these 3 things that are like each in their own like glass case on one wall. Again, like just stuff all around them on shelves, like almost obscuring them. But he shows them to you, and he'll say, this, and he points. It looks like a wand, just like a stick of wood. He says, this is quite the hilarious party trick. You point it at someone, say the command word, and it will force them to smile for 1 minute.
Wait, what kind of weapon?
It's a wand.
It's a wand.
A wand that forces someone to smile for a full minute.
Yes.
Okay, that is very interesting.
It is quite the party trick.
That would be hilarious if someone's just goofing around at the party. I don't know where I would use it. Yeah, how much is it?
It's guys, I'm so sorry. I saved this one page for combat, but I kind of forgot we were supposed to go shopping today, so give me a sec to find magic item prices.
You're golden. We're patient people.
I want to say it's gonna be like 100 gold.
Well,
because it's a magic item.
Yeah.
I was thinking if it was like
it's not gonna
10,
be
I'd
in
be
the
like,
book.
I want that.
No. Yeah, it is too gonna be in this book. It's gotta be in this book. I mean, I know what I'm saying, guys.
Is there crafting in D&D?
Yes, but it's very expensive and it takes a long time.
Like in
Buying
another
magic
game?
items, 135 and 136. Let's go.
Oh my.
My bad. I'll say, for the service you provided today, it would be 50 gold for you.
That's a little out of my price range, but what else do you have?
Well, if that's out of your price range, then you certainly wouldn't be able to afford the other 2 items. He points over. You see that one is a short sword and one looks like a cloak.
I could be back in town sometime.
Maybe. But seeing as you are an escort, that may not be as often as you like. But still, keep me in mind if you ever come back around. Was there anything else you needed? Perhaps any other equipments you might need? I don't have any potions, though, if that's what you're looking for. You'd have to get that from the market across the street, or the road.
Might I ask what the cloak does?
Why, yes, this cloak isn't the most damaging, but it is quite fashionable. By wearing it, and saying its command word, you can make it flourish and billow eloquently.
These magic items are quite interesting.
I know, aren't they great?
Yeah. Although, like him, it's not quite in my price range, most likely. But I was quite curious as to what it did. But we do have to restock for the next adventure, I guess. So.
Oh, you're doing another errand?
I don't know. We have to go back at least.
Well, yes, I understand. You weren't held up like the last shipment, were you? You never found out what happened to it?
No, but we did find some horses along the way in a goblin cave. We might go back and explore that on our way back.
A goblin cave? Ugh, those nasty little creatures.
I thought they were quite funny looking.
I bet they did take that last shipment. Ugh, goblins. More rampant than they used to be, even back during that war. And he kind of, muses to himself for a moment, stroking his chin. Yeah. Anyway, were you looking for anything else? Again, I have just about everything.
A plain knife. Just something I could use for carving and such. Not for fighting. Do you have any of those?
Like a kitchen appliance?
I guess so.
It would run you 1 gold.
I would like to buy one of those. Now come out of my gold. So that'd be Midas. I would like to purchase that knife.
Alright, so you can easily buy one. If you do get desperate and you have to attack with it, we're gonna say that it's not as good as a dagger.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. I don't think I don't have enough money to buy anything of use, so...
You don't need more rope, you don't need, ball bearings, or, anything like that.
We need ball bearings.
Because some people are really creative with ball bearings, man.
Fair enough.
That's why I got the knife. Be creative. But it can't be a dagger, because daggers aren't creative.
A kitchen knife is, though.
I'm gonna say it's more like a carving knife, but you don't want to carve with a dagger.
Yeah, you can kind of flavor it however you want, but it costs you 1 gold, and it's not going to have the same stats as a dagger.
It'll be used to cut open fish if I need it.
You could try buying fishing poles. I mean, you do live on a lake.
That's true. Do you have fishing poles?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Sorry. There's not a river close by, and the lake's, a good 3 days away. Like, we don't really have tackle and such. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't think I need anything else.
I think that's all I need.
Okay.
Thank you, Sir Sylvester, or Mr. Sylvester. He's not quite a sir.
You're very welcome, milady. And again, you see as he grins, it's more like his bottom lip pulls back, not his top, and you just see this, line of teeth in these 2 tusks that poke out. And again, he gives you a small bow.
Well, as we leave, I do a war salute since he was in the army.
Was he?
Yes, he talked about the war.
Okay.
I think he was in the army, or at least he had heard about it.
And he goes, the war too, eh? And motion back.
Yep. And just a warrior's understanding nod, and take my lady out, and we'll go and see what the merchants next door have.
As you step out of this building, you immediately see and are confronted with this silver and white scaled dragonborn. It has these very brilliant white robes with very fine gold trimming. No, David, it is not.
I'm just watching you. I'm waiting.
Does he know the secret?
No.
I'm not sure what's going on. I ran out of Mountain
So
Dew.
you come out of the shop, and you see this dragonborn, and immediately as you come out, he hails you and says, "Sir and lady, were you the adventurers who just came into town with that shipment?
Yes?
Would you please come by the Shrine of White? I have a task that needs adventurers."
Okay.
Okay.
Can I do a perception check? And
Okay, what are you trying to discern?
see if he has any if he needs help, or if it's more of a dastardly plan.
Okay, so I would like you to make an insight check.
Insight.
So go ahead and roll the die.
Okay. Just being a warrior, and since I'm supposed to be taking care of her, I don't want to take any chances with any strange hugabaloos just coming up and like, "Hey, I need help." I got a 4.
So, looking at this dragonborn, because you are a dragonborn yourself, you kind of know their body language and things. And the way he speaks, he seems to be urgent, but not trying to be menacing or having ulterior motives.
Okay.
And he says, "I realize you were just in the shop. You probably need some resting after your travels. If any time that you are here in the city, or in the town of Clearfields, please," he'll motion over, and you see this building that looks like it was once white, but has slowly yellowed and browned over time. And he says, "Please visit me at the Shrine of White. I am usually there."
What was his name again? What was your name?
So he did not give us his name.
So he did not tell you. Do you ask him?
Can I ask? Yes. Sir, could I ask what your name is?
He goes, "Oh, yes, pardon me. I am so sorry. I am Madarash Lynxacasendalor. Lynxacasendalor.
I'm just gonna leave it at Madarash.
Madarash Lynxacasendalor."
So Madarash is the first name.
Yes,
Okay.
Alright.
Is it impolite to use the first name in this
it can be.
Okay.
Great. So we're going to have a hard time trying to remember all these names.
That's okay.
Lynxacasendalor.
And again, he will say, "Yes, again, if you need something to do, or you're just curious, please come by the Shrine of White."
Shrine of what? White?
White.
The Shrine of White.
Okie dokie. Oh,
Well, we weren't really given a schedule to go back with, so...
yeah.
Alright, let's go help out. our fellow Dragonborn friend.
So you follow him to the shrine.
Yes.
Okay. So he goes down the road a bit to this. You would almost say that it's a temple, but as you get closer, you realize it's actually not very big. It looks like it's only a couple of rooms at the most. And you see, he opens it up and steps in. And as he does, he notices that you're following. It says, "Oh, were you coming now?" Yes, come in. And he will leave the door. So you both enter. One of you will have to close it behind you. And you see, it's a very plain-looking shrine. It has some candles that go down the sides and a small altar with like a mat in front of it, almost like a place to pray. You see above the altar this tapestry of a platinum dragon.
Lovely dragon statue you have here.
It's a tapestry.
Tapestry. I sometimes will mishear, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Could I ask what the statue or the tapestry?
So before you do that, I want you to make a religion check.
A religion check.
So you're going to roll the die.
There's a religion check?
I'll need a die. Yeah.
Oh, I see it. And that's under... So this is something I would probably know as a Dragonborn, but...
I rolled a 3.
Alright. So you are going to ask him, wait a second, maybe I know what this is. You know, I didn't really study religion back in the day. I don't really know what this is. So you ask him about this tapestry. He'll turn and say, "Why, this is the platinum dragon, Bahamut, one of the great and good gods. I am intrigued that you are curious about the shrine, milady, but I personally feel this is somewhat urgent." And
so what is the task at hand?
So he will say, "I don't really want to discuss it here in the prayer room." He'll go to another door on the inside, set kind of behind the altar in the wall, next to the tapestry. He'll open it up and lead you inside. In here, it looks like an office. It's a very small office. It has one desk and 2 chairs, one on each side of it. He'll sit down at the desk, open one of the drawers, fumble through it for a sec, and then he'll close it back up. He'll turn to the 2 of you and say, "Milady," motioning towards the chair to sit.
I shall gently sit down and place my hands in my lap like a good, elegant
like a good
woman.
noble woman.
Like a good noble woman.
I guess I'll just stand next to the chair and kind of have my hand on my sword, just chilling.
So, recently, this city has been accosted by some unsavory darkness, if you will. I have no idea who you folks are, but I really appreciate that you came in here, taking this time to hear me out. In the White Forest, the grove of aspens and other birch, just a few miles, no, it's not miles, I changed that. Just on the south end of town, there is this grove of aspens, and it is a holy place, particularly for me, because these trees are, they're white, almost pearlescent, almost mimicking the platinum dragon, Bahamut. And recently, while I was there meditating, I discovered evidence that there was someone there before. So, being curious as to who would, lie around in the White Forest besides myself, I investigated a bit more. And I have found these 2 folks that have told unsavory things about planning a murder. I don't know on whom. They never got there. They generally ended up fighting each other at that point, but as soon as I heard they had planned a murder, I immediately came back wanting nothing to do with them. But now that you're here, and as far as I know, no one has died yet, perhaps you could help me. Or help the town by preventing this murder. Yes, you can make an insight check if you would like. I can just see it on your face.
Yeah, I'm kind of hesitant just because, I don't know, that seems a little too coincidental. That it might actually be a trap for her, because she is part of the royal family that stopped the war. Mm-hmm. So, I'm going to do an insight check. I got a 6 this time. Plus... Yes, I have a +3 in insight.
Alright, so you got 9.
Yes.
you listen to this story, and you see, again, he seems urgent, really concerned about this. But again, maybe he just doesn't know. I'm sorry, hold on.
Doesn't know how to deal with the issue?
Yeah, so as you look at him, he's like you are strong. And you would look at him like, oh, this guy's strong, just because he's a dragonborn. But you would look at him and you would think, okay, this guy clearly hasn't done the rigorous work that you do all the time.
As a warrior.
Mm-hmm.
Well, whereabouts and how long ago did this happen?
It was just 2 days ago that I heard them speaking, and a couple days before that, when I had found evidence someone else had been in the White Forest.
So they have been at least meeting from the sound of it almost every 2 days. So if we went now, we might bump into them.
Perhaps. I do not know the minds of criminals. I got you there. These ne'er-do-wells. I do not know them.
I'm not sure if I need to roll for this, but could I, look around and try to perceive the things that he has in his study library, the things that he's read? I'm sure lots of it's not in the languages I know.
Yeah, so go ahead.
But I know Draconian.
Go ahead and roll and add your perception bonus, which I think for you is +5.
Okay, that's 2, so it's perception is +5, 7.
So you kind of look around his study, and you see, again, there are just lots of motifs of this white pearlescent dragon.
Excuse me.
You do see there are a few shelves of books, and they do seem to be in Draconic, and as you kind of look over them, you see that one of them is great heroes of the past, paladins of Bahamut, a history, and things of that nature. This guy very much seems to be into his worship of Bahamut, and he has all sorts of kinds of religious texts or histories about his religion.
Wait. Well,
Again, so I completely understand. You just got to town. You just finished another job. I don't have a lot. I mean, I have my books. I have some pretty things, but I don't really have that much money that I could give you for completing this task. I do have some healing magic that I could give to you. Like if you get sick or something, I would freely cure you of diseases if you did this for me. But again, I understand that's not a whole lot. Right. And you are strangers that I just saw come into town.
Yeah, so for all he knows, we're coming in to mug him.
I mean, do you want to?
No, goodness.
You can just draw your sword and attack this guy. That's fine.
No, goodness, no. Just some poor soul who's asking for help, but still very curious of why. Well, my lady, we're not on a time crunch, are we, to get back to the estate? I guess that would be.
As far as I know, we're not, and this is really one of the first times I'm being out, and I want to look around a bit.
Shall we help this gentleman out with his...
so maybe you just weren't listening to the part about being back within a week or so, because it takes these there, 3 days back.
Okay, so we do need to be... So, what I didn't hear that part, sorry.
I didn't hear that part.
Well, your character definitely didn't hear that part.
When did I get told this?
Sometime.
Great.
I don't know. I just made that one up on the fly, guys. That I couldn't do a whole lot about that. I'm sorry.
I guess I had a brain fart until I just remembered that we need to be back within a week. Well, it would take us a day to rest here anyways, but we still have that goblin thing to check out. But we can kind of have a short rest while we're going back, because he's the orc guy's keeping the oxen and whatnot.
So you guys did have to rest on the road. Mm-hmm. You'll have all of your hit points back. You'll get your spell back. So you should have 2 ready first level spell slots again. So essentially he's asking, will you take up this quest that I'm giving?
I have a feeling it's not going to take long.
Yeah, I was going to say, if it takes more than the day that we're here, then we need to tell him, sorry, we'll have to come back some other time to fix it.
Yep.
So, We will help you, good sir, but we are on a time crunch to get back to the company, so...
He says, yes, I completely understand. I figured that may be the case with the last shipment having gone missing. It was quite the talk of the town when it didn't show up. But he will kind of nod his head towards you and say, thank you so much. Take your hand and again be like, thank you so much. And give it a small kiss and hand your hand back.
Thank you, good sir. We'll do what we can, so we'll keep our eyes and ears open.
Yes, thank you so much. You have no idea how much this would mean to me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we will exit the building and his office and his building.
Mm-hmm.
Get that in the right order.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'll show you out. That's fine.
And we will hit the market real quick to see if we can find anything, and then we'll head out. Or do you want to just go?
So hold on.
Yes.
So as you leave, you see these two people have actually come in. They both look human, a man and a woman, and they're both like kneeling in front of this altar with their hands clasped, seemingly to be in prayer.
That's not suspicious at all.
The way he sounds, it makes it sound suspicious, but normally it's not.
Normally it's not, but at the same time, I don't trust that look in your eyes. So,
David, I just know you want to insight check everything.
Yes, I do. Because I'm just paranoid. You had me play Dark Souls earlier today, and I was waiting for a mimic to eat me. So, yeah, I want to do...
That's fine. Go ahead and roll.
An insight check to make sure these people are praying. Watch me crit this one, and it not be the one that matters. I got a 7 plus 3, so 10. Yes. An insight check. I got a 10.
So you see, these people, they don't have their hats on, or if they have a hood, it's been drawn back, and they're praying there. Don't seem to be shady or suspicious. They weren't even, like, as close to the door as they could be while being on the mat, trying to listen in on your conversation. They just seem to be people who came in to pay their dues at the shrine.
Okay, I'll leave them alone, and I'll escort my lady out, then. Keeping an eye on them as I go.
Alright, so you guys leave. You have 2 quests now, and possible more shopping to do. What do you want?
Shall we go and investigate the White Woods?
Sure.
Okay. Because we're all healed up and whatnot, so we won't need it until afterwards. Maybe.
Should we be worrying about eating something?
You have food. You should both have like 10 days worth of rations, which should be down to like 6 days worth of rations now.
So, shall we go and investigate the White Woods then?
Yep.
Okay. It was north, wasn't it?
South.
South. Wrong direction. We'll head south to the White Woods.
Okay, so you begin heading south. You pass by the Royal Arms Emporium.
I love the gesture.
And you continue making your way down the road. You see it kind of curves a bit as there's some farmland in the way. But as you keep going along, you see there is this other building with this great piece of stone set in front of it, almost like a tombstone. And on it, so I wasn't sure what this was. It's not that they carved the letters in, but they carved around the letters so that the letters stuck out.
Oh,
That's relief.
I forget what it's called.
Yes.
So in relief, you see on this great stone, it says, "Stones Rest In."
The inn?
Oh, could get some information.
You don't have to stop at it. So again, due to the timing, you came into town fairly early in the morning, and you didn't take a super long time shopping or talking to the priest at the Shrine of White. So I'm going to say it's not quite high sun.
So it's not noon yet. So, shall we go in and see if we can get some information, or shall we just go to the White Woods and just...
I say let's go into... Is it a bar? It's an inn. It's kind of the same. In fantasy. Let's go... In a fantasy world, it's usually the same. Let's go in and kind of do a couple perception checks and whatnot, and ask people, and maybe get drunk.
Maybe get drunk.
So, as you suggested, I'm like, oh yeah, we should stop here. See if they have more information. You see the door open. This man gets thrown out of this inn, straight across the porchway and down the 3 steps, and lands face first on the dirt in front of this inn. And you just hear this woman's voice call out, "And stay out, you perv!" And you see this woman who had opened the door and thrown this man out. She is very much a devil woman. She has these 2 horns. She has this purple skin. She's a tiefling.
A tiefling. Well, I kind of snicker as the man hits the ground because I find it humorous.
So as you come up to him, you get this very strong waft of alcohol. Like, this guy was, not only is it like not noon and he's very drunk, but also making moves on a lady. Like, something shady about this guy.
So, I might actually interrogate him a little. I'll kind of help him sit up, and I'll kind of say, I have some questions that you might be able to answer, good man.
Alright, how are you going to try to get what do you want to ask him?
Oh, I will ask him if he's heard anything going on in the White Woods. If there has been, some shady happenings going on.
Alright, I want you to make a persuasion check.
Okay. Persuasion.
I might be the better one for persuasion.
I have a +3.
I have +4.
Oh, nice.
Go on.
Okay.
You're the one interrogating him.
Yeah,
so.
I'm already the one that's kind of helped him out. I got a 9. +3, so yeah, 9.
Alright. So, you ask him, like, hey, man, like, anything weird going on in the Whitewood? And he kind of, like, looks at you kind of groggily and, like, what?
Kind of figured he was
Oh,
drunk.
man, you're real shiny, bro.
Bro? Is he drunk or is he stoned?
Oh, he's definitely one or the other. It doesn't matter.
I'm gonna
He's one
say
or the
both.
other.
I'm going to say cross-faded.
I'm going to
Wow,
want
you
to...
look mighty strong, man. Do you work out?
I
don't.
I
I just got my butt kicked by a woman.
I will kind of just frown slightly and just kind of let him go and flop back to the ground.
So he very unceremoniously kind of lands on his butt, goes all the way to his back. Ouch.
And I will look to my lady and say, do you want to go into the tavern or do you feel more comfortable being out here in the daylight?
Doesn't matter to me.
We shall both go in.
Okay. I want to ask the drunk dude, who kind of people live in the town?
Who kind of people?
I'm not good with words. I realize that making a noble choice is not going to work with my language.
That's okay.
I want to ask about, like, what kind of people live in town and kind of see if I can figure out who might be a good victim to be murdered. Who
A
might
target.
have enemies.
Okay, I would like you to make a persuasion check.
Okay. 7 plus 4 is 11.
So, you kind of come up to him and he's like, oh, you're sure a pretty lady.
I'm like, well, thank you.
At this point, my hand is on my sword. And I'm kind
Are
of...
you sure you want to know about other people?
I sure do.
Are you sure you don't want to know about me?
And I slowly
I'm pretty
unsheathe
sure I already
my
know
great
enough
sword.
about you.
No, I'll just have my hand on it. I'll be like, good sir.
So you kind of say that and he's like, oh, hey, oh.
It's time for you to go, I think.
Yeah, thanks. And he kind of, like, turns a little bit, and then he's like, oh, I'll stand up. And he'll, like, very awkwardly, he does finally manage to stand up, but he is in no shape.
We'll let the drunkard take his leave.
Alrighty.
We will go inside. I'll go first, because if she's already having problems with one guy at high noon almost, she's probably going to be having problems with other people. So, don't want no random crossbow bolts to be flying into the person I'm supposed to be protecting since I didn't do too well last time.
That's okay. So you go up to the door. It's a very simple door. You turn the handle, pushes inward. You step in. So as you walk inside, it's not the best lit, but they do have like a chandelier with candles all in it in the middle, in the tap room. You can see that there's a staircase on one side that goes up to a kind of a loft, but it goes all the way around the three sides. Not the front side where you walked in, but there's a staircase that goes up. It goes all the way around.
Okay.
And you can see this long bar on your left side. You can see behind the bar this tiefling woman with the horns and the purple skin. And she's got someone holding them by both of their shoulders. And she's like, it's okay, look, you did the right thing when you punched him. If anyone touches you like that ever again, sweetie, just punch him. Just like you did. And you see she's talking to what looks like a very young human woman.
So I'm guessing...
She goes, yes, ma'am. He was a paying customer and all, but, like, I couldn't... He didn't pay for that kind of service, you know? And she's like, yes, I completely understand. Just, if anyone does that to you ever again, just do the same thing, get me, I'll kick them out.
Oh, I love it.
So you walk in, you hear this conversation, and you can see, there's a few patrons in. There's not a lot. There's these two people having, like, a little booth with, like, a table in front of it. You see they're on each side of the table, and they're talking quietly to each other, having some, what looks like a pretty basic meal. Some, like, potatoes, maybe a little bit of egg. And you see there's this one person at the bar with, like, kind of a wine glass, just kind of shakes a little bit, sips, kind of shakes it again. Okay. You see that these are the only three people in the tap room, apart from the two behind the counter as well.
Okay, well, I will walk up to the tiefling and the human, and I will ask politely, excuse me, which one?
Yes, I'm so sorry. Now, go run along. Remember what I told you.
Oh.
And she goes, yes, ma'am, thank you.
I just realized you were role-playing there. I was like, what are you doing?
And so this tiefling woman will turn to you and say, welcome to the Stone's Inn. I assume you probably saw that out front. I'm sorry, he was a mess. What can I do for you?
I was actually looking for the owner.
Oh, that would be me.
Okay. So,
and you see she smiles, and she has unusually sharp teeth, kind of like yours are.
I'll kind of ask her, has he been more than just an average Joe problem?
He did have this one other offense a couple of months back when he got crazy drunk like you just saw him now, but no, I don't think he'll be much of a problem for a while.
Okay. And then...
My girl hit him good. She's quite the tough lady.
Good.
I should learn how to hit from her. Maybe you should teach me something about punching a guy.
In the balls, sweetie. Like, if you say that, she'll turn to you and kind of give you this look. In the balls, sweetie. That's exactly how she does it.
That's a real in-game laugh. I just crack up and just laugh.
I'm just gonna think, why? Because I'm naive.
Oh, at least someone gets my humor.
I will now ask her, I'm kind of here on business for someone. They heard something...
Ooh, really?
Yes.
Who?
Someone that heard something that was going on in the White Forest. Do you know anything about it?
I have not. What about the White Forest?
Just the...
I know it's south of town, but, like, really, what is it besides a bunch of white trees?
From what I heard, there's some people planning some shenanigans, and we're trying to figure out why and who.
Shenanigans? Like a prank? Oh, I love good pranks. As long as they're not on me. But that's for another time.
No, not a prank. Something more devious. I was just wondering if you've heard any scuttlebutt around.
No, I haven't. I mean, I hear a lot of things from all sorts of travelers who come through, but I haven't. Do you know when they were planning this, as you put it, scuttlebutt?
Scuttlebutt is the term for word on the street kind of a thing. The scuttlebutt. The rumors. And I'm guessing she doesn't know that.
No, clearly I didn't know that, so of course she wouldn't know. Like,
okay.
Come on.
I was like, maybe. Okay. Well,
no, I didn't know what it was. That's why. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay, so it's scuttlebutt.
Yeah, scuttlebutt. If I remember right, that's like a term that they used with ship captains and whatnot. Like, what's the scuttlebutt on the ship?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I could be completely wrong on that, but that's what I know it as.
All right. Okay, so she would tell you that she hadn't heard anything about the White Forest other than it's white and full of aspen.
Right. I'm guessing she's kind of naive, or just a prankster kind of a person. So she probably doesn't.
I mean, it is kind of hard to take her seriously sometimes, though, because you're shiny, you're copper, she's purple with horns.
And teeth.
And very beautiful white pearly teeth.
That will rip you apart like a shark. I will say that, well, have you seen anyone that could be suspicious? Someone that would be not up to pranks, but up to unsavory types?
Not that I can say. Again, I see a lot of different kinds of people.
Fair enough.
Some of them might be and just putting on this face, this facade, but really, I just provide my services and they pay me. That's what I do. I try not to get into their business because, business can get in the way of the bedclothes sometimes.
I just realized.
Oh my gosh.
What kind of place did I walk into?
It just clicked with her.
Okay, my character's still naive. It's just, it clicked with me, though.
That's fine.
Okay, my character did not get that, whatever.
That's fine. That's totally fine.
I'm going to ask if she knows Sylvester Lima, or I don't know. I'm not sure if I should say Madarash's name, but I want to ask. I'm going to ask about the people that we currently know, which is Sylvester and Madarash, if they've visited the inn.
Mm-hmm. So she will say, "Oh yes, I do see Sylvester somewhat frequently. He comes in for drinks every now and again, and sometimes for friendship, but not too often."
So you're good friends with Sylvester?
I love this.
So she'll kind of look at you awkwardly and be like, "A little bit. I don't really know him, though."
I'll just kind of shake my head and just, don't bother.
I like this naive trait.
And she's like, "But now, Madresh, I don't see him too often. I sometimes do see him over at the market getting foods and things. I also sometimes catch him while in the Emporium, getting some other things that most folk can't make in the market, such as the incenses he uses in his shrine. But I don't really go in there, He doesn't really agree with my business."
I guess that he might have something wrong with the alcohol.
So at this, she'll kind of start to get your idea and be like, "Oh yes, it is definitely alcohol. He doesn't come in for that." And she'll be like, "Put a pin in that one."
Pin in that conversation, we now know. I will ask her one last thing before we head out. I will ask her, do you know anyone in town that may have made some enemies? Other than the drunken man that you thrown out. Ooh, that would be an interesting plot twist. Sorry, continue.
So there are a couple of farmers who come in every now and again, but I don't see them often, and most of the farmers who come in seem like, good-to-do people. They're just having their simple life, and sometimes too many children.
Okay.
I got that one.
Okay. Well.
Like the Fosters. I swear, I see a new one every year. It's
sure
been
they're
like
not
5
foster?
years.
Are you sure they're not a foster family? Maybe that's
Oh,
why.
they are definitely a foster family. I mean, their name is Foster. Not gonna lie, that one was made up on the spot, if you couldn't tell. And I thought it was great.
Respect, DM. Respect. Oh my goodness. Well, I will thank her for her service and her help. And tell her if she hears anything, we'll be in town for maybe the day.
Just the day. You're not gonna get a room.
We're gonna try not to. We gotta be back to the company within a week. So
The company? Which one?
Back home.
You haven't
For
told me
me.
anything.
I know. That's why I'm like, she's asking the questions now.
Back home? Where do you live then?
By that big lake over yonder.
So it would be in Fairheim by the Crystal
Fairheim.
Lake.
Yep.
By the Crystalline Lake.
Yep.
Oh,
We just work for the noble family there. Can I make a deception roll?
yeah, go ahead. Because you were bald-faced lying to this woman's face.
Are we?
Ooh, 5 plus...
Aren't we not working for the company though? Technically.
4 is 9.
So she's like, uh-huh. And you're their daughter, right?
She knows.
Still technically right. I'm working for them.
Well, obviously, now I understand why you wouldn't need a room. A business moves quickly.
Yep.
Don't take that out of context.
And now there's gonna be a remake with dubstep in the background of just that. That'll be the opening line before the music starts. Don't take that out of context.
No, I was thinking the business moves quickly part.
No, that would be the opening part, and then it would just be that in the...
Don't take it out of context?
Yeah.
This conversation has been the highlight of my day.
We are happy to bring you such joy into your life.
Well, okay, well now I know. Don't do lewd jokes too often, because it'll get old fast.
It won't get old fast. So
My naivete will make it better.
there you go.
So much better.
So I will thank her, and
Oh, you're very welcome. And again, if you ever need friendship, we are also available.
Okay.
I'll just kind of like tip my head, like I've been in the army. I know about these people.
Yeah. And just be like, yes, of course.
But
Yeah.
I don't.
It's just like friends. Pay for friendship.
You see me walk in with a chesset, I would like to buy your friendship. We'll play chess.
She would probably just look at you kind of all curious. And she's like, "You really don't know what I do for a living, do you?"
Okay, so we're leaving.
Yes, we are leaving, and we are continuing our journey to the White Woods, unless someone decided to jump us while we were leaving the tavern.
No, that's fine. So you begin walking southward. You pass a couple of different fields and, very, very small buildings, which you would assume be people's homes, and they're working their lands right now. You don't walk for particularly long. It's maybe only about 10 minutes. And you do kind of come across, as you're walking, you've kind of had some, shrubs, and then they slowly got taller to trees where there wasn't farmland. But suddenly, instead of having this pine forest, it becomes a white forest. Suddenly, all of the trees are just white. There's a few pines in the middle, but most of them seem to be birch, whether it's aspen or I don't know all the kinds of birch. Aspen's the only one I know.
Amen.
Storm brewing.
I hope so. It needs to rain.
Amen. Well, as we come up to the forest, I'm going to do a perception check before I walk into this beautiful forest.
Go ahead and roll.
Okay. 9 perception. Where did you go? I'm going to have this down one day. I got 12.
Okay, so standing here on the road, you look in and it seems like a forest. You can hear there's various kinds of birds and insect life going around. You could spot a rabbit kind of jump through the forest.
Oh, that's adorable. Perfect place to plan a murder with a cute bunny.
And then you suddenly see this fox come out and try to snap at it.
Nature at its finest.
And they both run off.
They both run off?
Well, yeah. The bunny didn't get bit by the fox, and the fox still wants the bunny.
Oh, okay. I thought the fox got the bunny.
Well, I feel like that is a good omen that we shall pass, and that the murderers will not kill whoever they're hunting.
Wait, what?
I'm just thinking positively.
Okay, I was about to say, are you thinking that we're going to stop them, or are you thinking that it's not going to happen at all?
I'd like to, I think it's a survival check. I'd like to look around the forest for any signs of movement. If they're, like, if I can find, like, footprints or something.
Yeah, go ahead and make a survival check.
Boing, boing. God, what's with these
You guys go
rolls?
into the forest.
Since I didn't see anything, we can kind of go... Actually, you know what? Well, I'll let her do her check outside so we can see if there's any trails going in. If there's anything specific. Oh, we should have asked him what size these people were. Dang, hold on.
Alrighty. 4 plus my survival is 3, so that's... This is a really low roll, so I'm probably gonna get poop on this.
So you got 7.
Yeah, 7.
So as you're kind of looking around, you do find a game trail that comes fairly close to the road, and you would assume that the bunny and fox you saw earlier were probably on that. But you don't really see tracks that seem to have been made by, like, humanoid creatures. You do find some animal tracks, but not humanoid.
Do I find any animals?
Ooh. That would be useful.
I don't think you have the animal friendship spell.
Dang it.
Or the speak with animals spell.
Something like that. Well, I am going to draw my crossbow, and I will put my new bow that I bought in it, and I will...
Not the bloody one.
No, I'll use it as a souvenir. I'll kind of just rotate through them all. If I have to use it, then I'll use it.
Okay.
And I will start leading us through the game trail.
Yeah, so you pull out your crossbow. You kind of set the bolt in, lock it.
Oh, I draw my shield too.
You have it at the ready. And then you pull out your shield. Maybe you, like, set the crossbow down, like, pull out your shield, put it on, strap.
Yeah.
Pick up the crossbow, kind of fill with it. Alright, now we're ready. My lady?
Could I detect magic at this point?
Yes, would you like to cast it as a ritual?
I think.
So if you take 10 more minutes, you can cast it as a ritual.
Okay.
Rather than it being like an action to cast, you can take 10 minutes and it won't use one of your spell slots.
Okay.
So I'm going to assume you kind of coordinate with your guard. Like, okay,
I'll keep an eye on it.
Give me 10 minutes. Let me do some communing with nature for a sec, and I'll be able to detect magical effects.
I will give her space so that she can work, but I will watch over her like a hawk.
So yeah, you kind of begin meditating for a moment, and you, like, reach down. You touch the road beneath your feet, and you... do you have a component pouch, or do you have a spellcasting focus? Like a sprig of holly or mistletoe?
It was a totem.
A totem?
I was gonna say it was like I kind of have it here. The bonds. I have a silver locket from my grandpa, and I think that's the totem. And it's got a bird on it.
A bird.
Yeah.
Okay, so you kind of take this and you hold it close to your chest, and you kind of whisper a little bit. Please, open my eyes that I may see. And you kind of begin this prayer, and you feel, after a moment of concentrating, you feel your eyes open, almost like your eyes are open, but you almost have this feeling that your eyes open again, even though you're looking. You kind of survey around. You don't see any magic around you.
Okie dokie.
Maybe a faint glimmer from your friend, because he is a dragonborn, and he has a magical attack.
Okay.
You do see, like, on your person, like, since you're casting this magic, since you're detecting magic with the help of your totem, it does also faintly glow, but you don't see anything else that seems magical.
Okay. It says duration up to 10 minutes. I'd like to walk around with it on.
Yeah, that's fine. So you can keep it active for up to another 10 minutes.
Okay.
So...
And you turn to your guard, and I am ready. I see.
I see. Okay. We will go tramping through that game trail, and I will be keeping an eye out for more little goblin traps. If we so run into any.
Alright, so we're going to use your perception check of 12 from earlier.
Okay.
So, or your passive perception is like 13, right? Yeah, we can use either.
Yeah.
And yours is like 15, so you're good. So you walk through this white forest. It's almost like surreal because of how much whiteness there is just around. You do see sometimes there is a like one tree that's not white or has this rough bark on it. But for the most part, you just have a lovely stroll through this very white pearlescent forest. As you walk through it, you do find a small clearing with some rocks set up, almost like a pedestal or a dais. And on it, you see a very crudely carved wooden dragon that has been painted white.
So this is probably where... How do you say his name again?
Madarash. Have it spelled probably different than the way you have it spelled.
Probably. But this must be where he meditated, so this wouldn't be too far from where he heard and saw some things. So I'm going to leave his shrine alone. We'll walk by it and kind of continue on. He didn't say what direction he heard came from. So we'll just assume that he would be praying facing it and go straight past it, kind of going around.
So you go around the edge of the clearing?
Yes.
Okay, I would like you to make a survival check.
Great.
So as you're looking around, trying to detect this magic, go ahead and roll. You don't see anything like that's giving off this aura of magic from anything within this grove. What's its radius? Because it says like cast self, but then what's its radius?
It doesn't, actually within 30 feet.
Okay, that's pretty big. So yeah, you're able to see within this clearing, there's not any magic within this clearing.
Is religious stuff supposed to have magic around it?
It can.
Okay.
So like if there was divine magic, saying affecting the...
Can I make a religion check to see if there's supposed to be magic there?
Yes, or an arcana check if that's higher for you.
Let's see, religion...
Our dungeon master's nice and gives us a little bit of an advantage since we don't know what we're doing.
Is
well,
one,
I also feel like it
there's
makes sense. Like,
arcana.
oh, is magic supposed to be on this? Or like, wait, this is a religious object.
Yeah.
It's the same either way.
Yeah, that's fine. So we're going to say religion because that's what you mentioned first.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll.
19.
So as you look at this, you think this is just like a makeshift altar that Midrash has probably set up in a place of importance to him, and because his religion is so important, he set it up there himself. That's what you would discern. Whether it's supposed to be magical or not is kind of up in the air. Some deities can be fickle.
I'm thinking the forest is supposed to be magic, but I'm thinking... I don't know.
If the forest was magical, I think he would have detected it as we were going.
Yeah.
And as for my survival check, I got a 17 plus 1, so I got 18.
Okay, so as you go around, you do see there is a small part of the... There is a small part of the edge of the clearing where you can very clearly see what looks like one broken branch from one of these birch trees around. It looks like someone came through on a part of the clearing that doesn't face the road.
Ah, so that is the way we need to go. Or we need to go the opposite direction, because they either came in or they left. Is there a way I can identify which direction they came?
So with an 18, that would be very difficult.
Very difficult.
So I would say no. You can tell that it broke and it's kind of
mangled on the ground, but not if it came from going into the brush or going across the clearing to the other side.
Yeah, it's very difficult to tell.
Footprints that would indicate that.
So as you look around, so there is grasses growing around, and it's kind of hard to tell if there's any footprints. Or if it's like in the dirt, like the grass kind of shades it, and it would be really hard to like sift through and like pull the grass back to see.
Fair enough.
Because even if you step on grass, like it'll stand up within a couple of hours.
Yeah. If there was enough, I was thinking there was a little bit of a dirt patch, but if it's a grassy area, then okay. I'm going to say that it's going to be the direction that he went to go investigate, because he heard stuff and he kind of followed them, if I remember right. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell my lady that I'm sorry, I forgot your name again.
Eldenwin.
I'm gonna say,
Close
Eldenwin, my lady, I think this is the direction that they went. Since your eye thing is still going, or your magic, what was it?
She is detecting magic.
I'm gonna say we go this way. I have my crossbow ready, so I will do a perception check before we go through.
All right.
Make sure that they didn't set
That's
up.
fine. Go ahead.
I'm paranoid, okay? I don't want to die.
I know, it's great.
At least I'm smart enough to check. I'm not just gonna be like, nah. Perception plus 19.
So you begin foraying a little bit deeper into this white forest. And you see that it's actually not as big as you thought it was. There just seems to be like a patch with like a ring in the middle of it. And it's the white forest. And you do kind of, heading off in this direction, break out of the aspens and into more of the ponderosas and whatnot. No, because ponderosas get really thick. It would have to be something else. Spruce. It's got to be something else. Something smaller than ponderosa, because ponderosas get huge.
That's a trick.
Just say what you want.
Licorice, please.
A licorice.
Oh, you meant the licorice. I thought you meant the Mountain Dew.
No.
It's like, that's a trick testers.
I was like, no, I was trying to be subtle, so you could keep doing what you were doing. Less editing for you, but okay.
You know what? There's just no way around it. I got saw blades to do now, and that's okay.
I'm sorry.
We love you, Jesse.
Thank you. Okay, where were we? You were leaving the White Forest.
Yes, and we were entering into more of a regular part of the forest.
Okay. So, and you rolled an 18 again? A 17?
I rolled a 19.
A 19.
I with my pluses. So
okay. So you begin heading off through the forest. You come out of the White Forest. And just a couple of minutes, like, slowly going through the forest, you come across what looks like a very small campfire.
Great.
You see that dirt has been shoveled into a ring of stones to have obscured it, and there's no smoke coming off of it.
So it's just been put out.
So as you, like, lean down to examine it and you kind of, like, reach out, it doesn't feel warm.
Okay.
Like, it's not, like, burning. It is a little bit warm, but it's not, like, burning. It's not, like, freshly been put out.
Okay. Do I see a trail of tracks, or is this still grassy and whatnot, or is there possibly some broken twigs that I can spot if I do a...
So, as you look around, you do see that there very clearly seems to be some suspiciously goblin-sized footprints, and another pair that's a little bit bigger.
A little bit bigger. Not a lot bigger, just a little bit bigger.
So, like, human-sized.
Yeah.
So it's probably not me or half-orc.
I have a question. Are tieflings human-sized?
Yes.
Okay.
So actually, elves are a little bit shorter than humans. I would say that tieflings and humans are about the same. Dragonborn are a little bit taller than humans. On average. Again, there's some variation there.
If tieflings are like devils, do they have cloven feet, or are they people with purple skin, basically?
Some of them do have cloven feet.
Great.
So your character wouldn't know that, but I'm telling you, because you're interested. Like, yes, some of them, like, exude very demonic heritage, but some of them also are like people with purple skin and horns. That's about it.
Okay.
Some of them also have tails. Some of them have, like,
mini
not
wings?
just, like, colored skin, but, like, scales.
Ooh. That'd be kind of cool.
Like, there's quite a lot of variation within tieflings.
Okay. Cool beans. So I don't know that, but I know that.
Yeah, I'm letting you know that because I know you're curious.
I'm a curious boy. I like to learn. But, okay. Do I know which direction the tracks are going? Or is it just like a scuttlebutt of just...
So as you look, there definitely seems to be parts that go towards the White Forest. Also, there seems to be some that come in from various other ways in the forest. It almost looks like they had set up camp here for a while.
Okay. So I'm guessing that we need to go back the other way. Because if they all came in from various directions, then I'm pretty sure they're marching somewhere.
But you can also tell that not only have they left towards the White Forest, there also seems to be some that come in from the White Forest. Mm-hmm. Again, it's very faint, but you rode pretty well.
Can we tell how many tracks of separateness?
There are at least 2.
2?
You don't know if there's more goblin-like creatures, but there is at least one of those. And there is at least one creature that is bigger than it, just because its footprint is bigger.
Okay.
Again, there might be more with similarly sized footprints, but there are at least 2.
Okay. Is there a way that I could tell... I'd probably have to roll again. Is there a way I could tell if there's a main direction that they were all going? Like, one direction that was their main highway.
So what do you mean? Like, would they always come in from one side, or would they always leave from one side?
Yeah, in a sense.
So you can tell that they generally came in and left, not directly from the White Forest, but it seems maybe there's a different way through the forest that is closer to the road. And there's definitely, like, a patch where there's, like, so many footprints there that they're, like, on top of each other, and it's kind of hard to distinguish individual footprints.
I'm going to recommend that we follow those footprints that way. Out of their camp.
Alright, so again, with your, when you're detecting magic, again, nothing in here seems to be magical.
Okay.
I should probably check that before I'm just like, let's go!
Well, that's why I said, because I remember, like, oh yeah, you're detecting magic, that's right.
Okie dokie. Well, let's go follow the trail.
I'm ready just to do a perception check as I go.
Alright, so go ahead and roll.
Okay. 8 plus 3, that is 11.
Alright, so you begin making your way through the forest, this time not through the white section, through a more dark brown and green section. Again, there's a fair bit of grass and wildflowers that you have to walk through. And, you know, with just a few minutes of traveling along, maybe like, what did I say? It was about 5 minutes to the White Forest and like another only 2 or 3 to their campsite.
Yeah, give or take.
So it probably takes you about 5 minutes to go from their campsite and you find a road through the forest.
Through the forest?
No, not through the forest. I'm sorry, I really need to I really need to draw up this map.
You're good.
So it wouldn't be through the forest, that's right. So you would come out of the edge of the forest and you can see it several yards away, the road that goes around the forest. That's how it's supposed to be. Because, yeah, that sounds right.
Is this the same road that we came through?
You would imagine it to be so. It seems to be on the same side that you entered the White Forest from.
So either they went on their way, or they're planning something further down. I don't know.
Alright, so I think that's a good place to stop for right now, because my voice is
I feel you.
My voice is tired and I need some juice.
Should we pause the recording?
Well, thanks guys for watching, but we're going to take a break now. My voice is tired and I need some soda.
There you go.
See you next time.
That works. Bye.